as Brian said, and I'm also a senior multimedia journalism major, preparing to graduate and getting ready to start a part-time job I just got. And so I'm also the founder of 501 Child Connect, which I'm going to talk to you about. Some of the things I'm going to tell you are why my audience cares about this particular topic, why I care, and what I do with the site, how it's serving an underserved need, and then some of the challenges, the struggles, and the successes that I found through this site. Also some of the content and how I promote it, and how I will promote it in the future. And then just some evidence that I am reaching my target audience. Okay, so this is my site's homepage, so you can see just what it looks like. So let's talk about my audience. I am targeting communications professionals in the nonprofit sector, specifically working with child service organizations. These people also have the desire to improve their online communications and use social media. And they also have some struggles, such as limited resources like time, money, and sometimes just the knowledge of what a new online marketing tool can do for them. So how I became interested in this topic, I've had 3 major experiences that have led me to want to post about social media and nonprofits. Starting in 2007-2008, I worked with the American Cancer Society to promote a couple of Relay for Lives in my community. This was really before the boom of social media, so we relied on the traditional media to promote those. And then in 2011, I had the chance to work within a communications department of a San Francisco nonprofit. And so we used online communications to promote several events and then just the organization in general. And now recently I am an intern with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and so we're using Facebook and Twitter and other online marketing tools to get their name out there. So my mission for the site is to promote collaboration, create relationships, and share ideas about how to use social media within the nonprofit sector. And then some of my goals I've been focusing on with my posts are to just strengthen the social networking and the event marketing techniques within this sector. So for the market, I have found some sites that are trying to do this sort of thing, telling people how they can best use social media for their advancement of their organization, but it primarily is an underserved audience. There's no one really out there focusing on the child service organizations, and they also come with some unique challenges that interested me, like confidentiality of not being able to post children's pictures or the children's names on their sites. And then also there's not a lot of sites that are using current social media tools and explaining those, like Pinterest and Google Plus and Reddit. So some of the challenges that I faced with creating this site are definitely consistency, being consistent in how often I post, and then also just staying updated on the latest social media trends. It's something that's changing every single day, so you need to be consistent in making sure you're up to date on that so you don't get false information. Also just getting people to follow through on the call to action to actually go to my website, check it out, stay a while, and then keep returning. And then also sometimes I feel like I chose a narrow audience of the child service organizations. I feel like I would have had more success if I would have broadened that a little bit. So some of the struggles, I originally started wanting to promote my site with a face-to-face communication effort. So I didn't want to go online. It was kind of my own personal experiment. I wanted to see if I could create a word-of-mouth buzz and get people to go to my site. I found that did not work, and it wasn't until I got on Twitter that people actually started going to my site at all. Also, just making it a priority, learning that I need to post regularly and I need to just stay updated and keep pushing my content out there, and I didn't start doing that until halfway through the semester, so that was a struggle. I've also had some success though. I recently had an email from my dad who works at a school that he heard some teachers were talking about this site, and he had no idea that I'd created it. I did not tell him. And so I take that as a success that it somehow had some word of mouth going. Also, I've had some shares and reblogs, and then some comments, which I'll talk about a little later. As far as content, this is generally what my posts look like. Right now, I'm going through a series of explaining each social media network and how an organization can use that to best promote their material and to market themselves. And then as far as promoting that material and promoting the site, As I said, I wanted to focus on face-to-face communication, and so I started going to some fundraising events and handing out my site address and just talking to people and getting them interested. And I thought that would be a really great way to spread the word, but it turns out it was not. But I did what I call content partnerships. I had an opportunity to partner with Iowa Health, which is now Unity Point Health as of yesterday. They had a new name. And so we created a content partnership where they supply me with some of their tips and suggestions, and in return I feature them on the site, and then also they go ahead and feature my site on some of their publications. I also started putting some of my content within LinkedIn groups, trying to facilitate some discussion on the issues, and also that's how I got a lot of my research as for what is working for nonprofits and where are they taking these social networking sites. And then eventually I decided to submit and get Twitter, and I don't know if you can see how many followers, it's around 50, and I did not do that until way late in the game, but surprisingly it's created quite the buzz and gotten me a lot more page views. So I have some evidence that it's actually reaching my target market. For example, I've received a few emails just asking about, can you clarify something on a specific, like on Pinterest, how you can use it for this way within an organization. So I know that people are taking my content and it's making them ask questions, which is good. Also, I've been reblogged by a couple blogs. Here's one that I was just reblogged in. They have about 1,000 followers on Twitter, and they are they're a marketing company. So I feel like that's good. And then I also had some comments the other day, and so that's kind of facilitating that discussion, and I see that as a success. Here are my page views. As you can see, it's the lowest as we've really seen. And it was not until I joined Twitter that I was able to get up to 82 a day. This was taken this morning. What I'm most proud of, though, is my comments. I feel like to have 7 comments, and only 4 of them are of actual substance, but to have those comments is something that I can be proud of because it shows that what I'm saying is sinking in, and people are asking questions and learning more about how to benefit their organization. So today I've talked to you a little bit about my site and why it's important to me and why the audience should find it important, how it serves that underserved network, and then some of the challenges, struggles, and successes I faced, along with some of the content I post and how I promote that, and then the evidence that it's actually reaching my target market and then some other markets I did not expect. So thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, I'll take them now.
Hey, judges.
You seem to have mostly tapped into the market. It's pretty broad in terms of opportunity that expands. Is this going to make money?
I feel like, if not money, it's going to create a giant buzz. There's literally endless possibilities of featuring other organizations and maybe doing content partnerships with them too. So there's millions of nonprofit organizations out there. I'm not exactly sure how many of those are child service. Again, I feel like I limited that a little too much. And so I open it up to all different kinds with different client bases. So as far as money, there might be some content sponsorships where they would pay me a small amount to feature their organization online.
You said, so you're focused on the child service nonprofits. Do you posts actually kind of specifically say for programs like theirs how they should be using these as opposed to say other nonprofits?
Yes, I do. Not in all of them, but for example, in the one I posted about Pinterest, which happened to be my most read post, I give examples such as if it was a child hunger relief organization, what types of boards they could have that would really serve their audience. And then other ones such as blogging, what types of topics they might post about that would serve their audience, such as child homelessness or engagement. So I try and tell them, give them exact specific ideas as far as how they can take it from there. But I would like to kind of broaden that a little bit and not be so specific in the future.
And you mentioned kind of the challenge of consistency. Have you found that improved, and what would you need to do to improve that?
I think once I had a passion with this site from the very beginning because it's something that I'm just very interested in, but I didn't have the passion of posting and putting my ideas out there. And researching, it's not something that's really fun to go around and find the latest social media and the latest research. But once I kind of found my interest in that and found the passion within that, that's when the consistency started to come. I set aside that time, for example, like Tuesdays at 3 o'clock, I'm going to sit down and research. The next day I will post. So it's just setting up that schedule and making it a priority, which is really what helped.
I saw your views were pretty much nothing at the very end.
Yeah.
Expect that. Going forward, how do you kind of try to maintain that? Considering the consistency of posts is really.
Right, the flat line, as you saw, that was before I got on Twitter. And then once it spiked was after I got on Twitter. I think within a couple days I was up to like 48 followers, which is just because it's a really popular topic right now, social media. If you have social media in your site, people are interested. And so I feel like it's just continuing with that social media is what's going to hopefully not spike it, but keep it pretty medium.
This, as you mentioned, this is a really hot area right now. A lot of businesses are trying to get into serving people like this. How do you make your site stand out?
I think it would be the partnerships and the sponsorships that I'm really looking for. So it's going to take a while to stand out, and I'm hoping my goal is to not be the thing people go to, the site that people go to. I want them to go to other sites that come to mind. I want them to go from my site to go to other sites. I really am focusing on that collaboration. I don't want to be the one place that talks about this. I want to get other people talking about this too. I want people to see my site and say, that's a really good idea. We should help give advice on how to do social media for organizations too. So I'm not thinking I want to be the best. I just want to create a network of people who